welcome to another episode of I Live the 80s podcast. How are you all doing today? Hope you're having a great week so far. We are back with another episode. And as always, the co-captain of the Wayback Machine with me, as always. Ed, what's going on, man? What's going on?
Not much. How are you, dude?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. What's up with you?
No, not much. How are you today?
Oh, hey. It's just another day with an impending big snowstorm in the Northeast.
Oh, I know. Isn't that crazy?
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love it. It's that time of the year, I guess. It's that time of the year. So, where's our friend? Is our friend here yet?
Oh, yeah. He's a little sad today.
He's sad. What happened?
Oh, yeah.
Google. What happened?
Oh, Joseph.
What happened?
Oh, after I was so happy about not getting a venereal disease, guess what?
What happened?
I went on a wild tangent, and I went and I called a couple of my lady friends in my black book, and I went on a wild spree, and now they put a cone on me, Joseph.
You got a cone like a dog? What happened?
I can't lick my own nuts, Joseph.
Oh, no. That's horrible.
Yes, it's terrible, Joseph.
That's horrible news.
Yes, it's terrible. I can't lick my nuts. I can't do anything.
Oh, my God.
It is the worst thing ever. Oh, it is awful.
Are you going to be able to give us some facts tonight, or is it going to be too hard for you?
I probably could. I can't see past this damn thing. I can't do anything. It's awful. This cone is the worst thing ever, Joe.
I can imagine. That's horrible.
Yes, the doctor said I have to keep it on for a week or two.
Well, listen, at least that's not permanent. You'll be okay.
No, I can't even see the bumps down there. It's like
maybe that's a good thing.
Battle staff, Joe.
Maybe.
It's like a spiked mace. I swing it around and it hurts, Joe. It really hurts. And you don't even want to know the pus that's coming out.
I don't want to. You are correct.
Oh, Joe. I'm half the man I used to be. Like that song, you know, Joe?
Yes, I remember the song very well.
All right, Google it. I'm not even a Google out today. I'm just going to whimper away.
Just whimper, yes.
Yes, okay, bye-bye, Joe.
All right.
No.
Oh, my God, he's a mess.
Yeah, but you know what the worst thing is, Joe? I've been having to put the ointment on there.
Oh,
I
don't envy you. I don't envy you. Oh, my gosh. Well, let's all wish Google a speedy recovery. Well, I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't. But anyway, hello all. Rockin' Wrestling's here. Gene is here. Big Dan's here. Hi, Jody Gilly. Hello, Jody. How are you? Jody Jody does a show on our wrestling channel. So welcome, Jody. It's the first time we've seen Jody. We've got Gwynny out there, I see, as well. Big Dan.
Gwynny, Georgia won.
Oh, Gwynny's having a hell of a sports season. She's having her Braves won the World Series. Now Georgia won the college. Yeah, it's all Atlanta. That's
Atlanta.
Awesome. Good for you. All right. Well, we're going to our topic for tonight is we're gonna celebrate the lives of some of the celebrities who we lost. There were a lot of them, and so we're just going to go down. We're going to talk a little bit about them, our memories, about things that we've seen with the celebrities and things like that. You guys can share yours with us as well. So that's what the main topic is of tonight. But before we get to that, we'll go into our format that we started last week, and we're going to start off with some retro news, I believe, Ed.
Throwback to the future, because Joe couldn't remember the name of it.
Because I couldn't remember. I've got to think Michael J. Fox. It is called Throwback to the Future. Yes. All right. So we're going to start off with a little bit of that. So first off, this week, and again, this segment, we're just going to pretty much talk about things that are happening that would relate to the 80s or things that are going on. So the first thing I'm going to mention, of course, near and dear to my heart, because I'm a huge horror fan, is, of course, the movie Scream comes out this coming week. So pretty exciting. I've seen all of the trailers for it. It is It looks really, really good, and it's getting some pretty good reviews as well. Now, critics hate horror films, so the critics won't give it to them, but it's the fan reactions and stuff like that. So I'm excited about it, and I don't know when I'm going to get to see it. Unfortunately, it's not a streaming thing, so you can only see it in the theaters. But pretty cool to see whenever horror films come back. And it does look really good. They have the old cast in there, along with some people that they have, of course, kind of an old to new thing. But I'm excited about Scream, man. It's always cool to see something come back like that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
I
just see Jody strep and pancreatitis. I wish you well. I hope you get better.
Yuck on lots of meds. Oh, that sucks. Scream is going to be a legendary. Yes, yeah. I think it's going to be really good. I really do. I think it's going to be good. Yeah.
And I finally saw all of Cobra Kai. I binged it.
And it was awesome. Now we can all talk about it.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to. I'm not a spoiler kind of guy, but it was awesome.
Listen,
I really dug it.
There has to be a period of time where you don't have. I saw an interview yesterday, I think, with the actor who played Terry Silver.
Oh, he's an awesome bad guy.
Yeah, wow. He really is. He really is. And I'm left wondering, and since you saw it now, so who you think he's referring to? The people at who so-called friends he's going to get that are going to run his dojos for him, like he said at the end. Got to be that guy that fought Daniel in Karate Kid 3.
I'm hoping. Oh my God, that'd be
awesome. Gotta be him. He's got to be back. I would imagine they'll bring him back. Some are rumoring that they're going to bring in who was it? The girl from Part 4. That's gonna end up maybe helping the girl that's in there now, the one who's always angry. So they're saying that maybe they'll bring her in. I don't know. It's crazy.
What, Hilary Swank?
Hilary, yeah. So
I thought she was like a big actress, but she hasn't done anything in a while, right?
No, you haven't really heard her doing much.
Maybe Jackie Chan.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Wait. That was a nightmare I had.
Yeah, that didn't happen. We don't acknowledge that here.
Yeah.
We don't acknowledge that here. But yeah, the interview with the actor who played Terry Silver was a really good interview. He just seems like he said he wasn't sure if he wanted to come back to it, but once he did, he kind of stepped right back into it. And really
he's awesome. So he was cool. Great. Yeah,
he
just has that face that
he does
punch, doesn't he?
He does.
Like that smirk.
Yeah, he does. He's right up there with really good screen villains that I've seen. So yeah, but yeah, that was awesome.
You have to watch it.
Yes, you do. It's awesome. If you like retro stuff, you definitely have to watch it. Mike Barnes, Big Dad said, yeah, the actor who played Mike Barnes. I looked him up. And I mean, again, not really doing all that much. So I would not be surprised if he ends up back because he did say he has friends. So you would think it kind of has to be. I don't know where they're going to go after all this, though, because if they have this big confrontation and stuff like that, and it's Daniel and Chosen against him, and I don't know where they go then after, unless they bring along Daniel's son and they kind of turn it over maybe to the son and go from there. I don't know. But
well, I mean, the one scene where he's like, "Get away from me, man!" and he got up and walked away. It was almost like identical to the Karate Kid, because you remember when Daniel's like, "Get away from me, man!" and it was like, I was like, "Wow!" Like they kind of mirrored that,
So they set it up where he can turn it over that way if they want to, and that Daniel's probably going to train him now since he can't have an actual dojo anymore, but he could train his son. So you kind of would think that that's probably where they're going to go. Sean Kanan has to come in season 5. Yeah, I would think so. I would think they would get him to come there. So that would be cool. Maybe with Scream coming, we'll get Arquette in the Royal. Maybe David Arquette will show up for the Royal Rumble. Could be. You never know.
Opening the forbidden door.
Yeah, right.
I can't wait for that. I'm shocked. I'm psyched to see what's going to happen for that.
That was huge news when Mickie James announced she was coming there. I was like, wow, that's really awesome. I really love her, and the fact that she's coming there with Impact's championship belt. Yeah, it's really cool.
Facebook user, whoever you are, as soon as you click on, there's a little link right above it, and you just click that link, and it'll just pop you right in, and it'll change your name. Because I did it, and it literally works. Like as soon as you do it, I did it the other day. So all you do is you click it, and it'll just change your name right over, whoever you are, or type your name. So
All right, so a couple other quick little news things here.
Some nuggets, some news.
Some
nuggets.
news. Yeah,
there you are, Rich. Yeah, it's Wayfield.
Hey, Rich,
Lawrence.
how are you? It's our friend, Rich.
It's not Johnny Lawrence. It's our regular friend Lawrence.
How are you, Rich? Hope you're well. Some other little news tidbits here. We've got Sarah Michelle Gellar's actually in the news. This is a fashion thing, so I just happened to come across this. She says she's
married to a WWE former writer.
There you go.
She was married to his name slips me, but I know he was a writer for the WWE, and his name slips me, but I know he was a writer.
There you go.
I can't think of it, and
I can't either. I have no idea.
Somebody help me in the audience. Come on.
But anyway, she says she's unimpressed with 2022 fashion trends. So she says, I'm bringing back the 80s. Well, we're all about that. So basically, she said now this is beauty trends, because we talk about all things 80s. So I'm not sure. There's another person saying, not sure I'm on testing. LOL. No, you are not. We see you as Facebook user, whoever that is.
Freddie Prinze
Jr. There you go. Thank you very much, Big Dan and Jody. So it says, on Wednesday, January 12th, the 44-year-old actor shared a video on Instagram looking straight out of the famed decade. She wore blue eyeshadow, bold blush, rounded out with glossy pink lipstick. As for hair, she wore it pulled back into a bun and let her fringe, bangs, and face framing tendrils take center stage. And that's not all. She accessorized the look with two mismatched neon lightning bolt earrings. So Sarah Michelle Gellar coming back. She was in a horror movie too. Was it I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Yes.
There you go. So
with the guy with the hook.
Yes.
And he wore the raincoat.
The guy with the fish hook and the raincoat.
Yeah.
Yes, the fisherman.
Very, very original.
Yeah.
We'll put him in a raincoat.
Yeah, it wasn't the most, I mean, you never saw the guy's face, but hey, what are you going to do? It was a cheesy horror movie. They did a recent series for that too. I wanted to watch it, but it's already canceled. So it's out there, but they canceled it because it was pretty bad.
Called I Know What You Did like 2 Thursdays ago.
I know what you did yesterday.
I know what you did for brunch on Thursday.
I know what you ate for brunch. We should do that. I know what you ate for brunch. We should film that movie and have some dude with a really bad looking weapon like a spatula instead of a fish hook.
I'm not a fan. We can bring the bangs back, Winnie. I want to bring back the cuff jeans. I always liked the cuff jeans and the Docksiders. That was always like an awesome thing.
I want to bring back rolled up sweatpants, where you roll the sweatpants up to your knee when you go outside, almost like they're shorts.
You know what the kids are doing now is they're tucking their sweatpants into their socks.
Oh,
and it's the weirdest fashion. Like they're taking their jogging pants and they're tucking their socks in, and then they're wearing their shoes, and it's like the weirdest thing. And because like for my job, I had to work in the school, and I saw it, and I'm just like, I did like a triple take, and I'm like, what the hell? And they're all walking around like that, and they wear like those like. I call them boat shoes, but like they're moccasin things, and I'm just like, and they're all wearing it, and I'm just like, and I want to be like, buddy, you left your pants tucked into your socks. I wanted to say that, and I'm like, no, that's what they're wearing now. And all right,
Isn't that like Urkel? Didn't Urkel tuck his pants into his socks? Doesn't that? It just reminded me of Urkel. Didn't Urkel do that?
Then Urkel would be cool as hell now.
Apparently so. Well, there you go. My preschoolers roll their pants up like that. Well, yeah, see, I know what you did last summer was when she met her future husband. Ah, okay. Damn kids and their rock'em sock'em robots. All right. So there you go. The other thing I just wanted to mention was, and again, I don't know what you guys watch, TV wise and this and that. I still have cable with all of my other stuff that I have now, the apps and everything. But I happen to be, and I was telling Ed a story a little bit earlier. I happen to be watching, and I just had it on in the background after a wrestling show ended last week. And all of a sudden, this documentary comes up, and it just brought me back memories about it, because I can remember when I was a kid, and I'd see ads, and I don't know if you guys, you're from all different parts of the country probably and stuff like that, but there was a channel out of New York. It was called WPIX. That was their main channel that they would show like the honeymooners and all that kind of stuff on. Crazy Eddie commercials. Yes,
insane.
Yes, prices are insane. But yeah, they would have all of that kind of stuff, and a lot of I'd watch it a lot because there was a lot of things on there cartoons in the afternoon. I think the Spider-Man 60s cartoon was on. I watched the channel all the time. But one of the things I used to see on their commercials was they'd always advertise things from Jersey. So Brigantine Castle was one. And if you've never heard of Brigantine Castle, it's this big horror thing that they would walk through a horror house. And it's huge. Never got to go to that. But the other one that I always asked my parents to take me to is a place called Action Park in New Jersey. Now, the reason I wanted to go is because they show ads for this all the time, and it looked like a hell of a lot of fun for a kid. It was a water park. So I happen to, this documentary comes on, and I see the commercial that starts the documentary, and I'm like, oh my God, I remember this. And I remember telling my Mom, you got to take me to this. This is amazing. You see all these rides with the slides and all these things with that, and I'm like, oh, we got to go. Well, we never did. And I kind of forgot about it until recently, and I saw this thing, and I'm like, what the hell is this Action Park? So I start watching the documentary. Well, damn, am I not glad that my parents never took me to this place? People died in this park. If you ever want, I don't know the name offhand of the documentary because it came on a cable station really late at night. It was on like 10 to 12:30, and I watched it, and you shouldn't. The stuff was just so incredible to believe. It was hysterical. Like I'm sitting there cackling, laughing at some of this stuff. Now, obviously someone had passed away. That kind of stuff was obviously not, but the stories they told about the owner was in with the mob, and he had a fake insurance company. So if anybody ever got injured, there was this fake insurance company that he made up. Never got taken to court and all this other stuff. And people, they had a ride. Let me pull it up real quick. I'll show you on the screen because it's insane. Basically, it was a water slide that kind of went at this huge angle coming straight down, and it ended up in a loop at the very bottom. So there's this loop that goes up, around, and so they would have their employees. So all the employees who were, underage kids for the most part, 14, 15 years old, would come down these slides. They'd have to test the rides. So they'd come down the slide. Well, the slides were never built correctly. They weren't tested properly. They had engineers going in there just designing all these things and say, let's give this a shot. And they would go around this loop. They'd either get stuck in the middle of the loop because the momentum wouldn't carry them the way it was supposed to, or they'd get injured and all kinds of hurt and everything going down there. So they had a trap door at the top. They used to have to go up on the top of this ride and get them out of the slide. But if you ever get a chance, go ahead and watch the documentary or look it up because it's insane. They had a 20-foot, never any lifeguards. So it's basically a free for all. They had a 20-foot jump off of a cliff where you just would run off and jump in the water. The water was not park water. So, park water is all clean. It's chlorine. Like you go to these places like Kalahari and stuff like that.
So what is it, like pond scum water?
It was pond water. It was literally like there were fish. There was algae. There was all kind of stuff in there. So people would just go and jump, right? And jump in. Well, you'd have one person jump. There was nobody to control the line or anything. So then the next person would go jump. Half the time they jump on top of each other. People would be jumping on each other, knocking each other into the thing. Then the women that would come on, be wearing bikinis and stuff like that, they would jump. They'd go into the water and come out of the water topless because their bikinis would fall off. Meantime, all the guys that were around the thing start clapping and giving them tens or whatever like that when they went. But it's a crazy, crazy thing, like Class Action Park. Yes, he watched it. So great documentary. Yeah, like it's insane. Like the stuff that there were 14, 15, 16-year-old kids who were in charge of this park. They were the ones who ran it. They were all the time. They were there was this little shack that they would go up in the back. They'd be up there smoking pot. They'd be up there having sex in the shack. They'd be like just all of this crazy.
Who was, like the employees or
the
like
employees?
Everybody?
No, the employees. And it's just incredible that stuff would go on at this what was supposed to be this wonderful family park, and then people they got hurt. There was a wave pool that the waves were never checked properly.
Down, or is it still open?
No, it's long closed. There's something there now. Google is back. What's up, Google?
So you had me at having sex in the shack. I heard that show, and I had to come on a second.
I figured you might like that, yes.
Yes, I was actually in that shack.
You were in the park?
That was the inspiration for the song Love Shack by the B-52s.
Oh, okay.
I was in there. Let me tell you something. My children were all over the shack. It was originally called Google Shack because all of Google's kids were all over the shack.
There you go. Oh, wow.
But then the girl with the high beehive hair, I forget her name. I called her Flo.
Flo.
Because she flowed all over. But
oh my gosh.
She changed the name last minute to Love Shack.
Love Shack. Well, there you go.
Yeah, because the studio executives did not love the name Google Shack.
I can imagine.
Let me tell you something. This itches so bad, Joseph. Like, I need Ed to scratch this thing in the worst way. Oh, right there. I'm gonna move my leg like a dog, Joe. All right, I have to go. Oh, poor Google, man.
Oh my gosh, I feel horrible. That's terrible. Oh my God. So yeah, but if you get a chance, check out the documentary. I just happened upon it, and I was like, well, you know what? I'm kind of glad they never took me, because God knows I could have died.
Comment of the night.
I mean, who knows? Who knew? Remember seeing commercial on WWR Channel 9. That's another one out of New York too. Yeah, Action Park. I remember seeing commercials for it all the time, and it looked tremendous. But they had a tank ride too. That, like in the other part of the park, which wasn't the water park, they had a tank ride that would actually shoot these explosive. People would put stuff in the turret and make it fireballs, and they're shooting fireballs at one another. So they're literally lighting people on fire with the things that were coming out of the tank. I'm telling you, dude. If you find it on YouTube, you will laugh your ass off. It's hysterical, and it shouldn't be, but it's literally hysterical. But anyway, I'm glad I never went.
So Dan has the comment so far of the night. Google kissed Flo's grits.
He did.
And Gina said that, oh my God, we went to Brigantine Castle every year as a kid. So, and how you survived, that's pretty awesome.
Brigantine Castle is amazing. I went once. That burned down. The whole thing burned right to the ground. That was scary as hell for the day, because they would take you around, and they literally would take you to that was terrifying. I must have gone there when I was 9 or 10, but yeah, I remember that very well. They showed the ad for that all the time too, all the time. All right. Well, there you go. Ronnie. Oh yes, we have to mention, and we're going to talk about the celebrities who passed, but Ronnie Spector. I believe she passed today.
I didn't see that.
Take Me Home Tonight, which is, I've already mentioned, is my favorite 80s song of all time, and Ronnie Spector singing "Be My Little Baby" in that song. Yeah.
Doesn't
very
your
sad.
favorite 80s song change like every time we
It does. It changes it changes like my
I had to bust your ass.
No, it does. It does. I agree. It does. All right. So there you go. So there is the throwback what's it called again? Throwback to the Future.
Back to the Future, yeah. Yes.
Thank you very much. All
right. Today
we're gonna do music.
Well, I'm gonna throw in.
Oh yeah. You do that. Yep.
So today, on January 12th in 80s history, Dynasty premiered on ABC. Pretty cool. Escape the Pina Colada Song by Rupert Holmes.
Rupert Holmes, if you like pina coladas.
In 1980.
Getting caught in the rain. I love Rupert Holmes. You love Him by him, don't you? The song Him?
No, I like Let's Get Crazy Tonight.
Oh, Let's Get Crazy. Yes, okay.
That's the one. That's a lesser known one.
Yeah.
I like that one. But Escape became the #1 song in America in 1980 for the second time.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty good.
There you go.
In 1986, the Chicago Bears advanced to the Super Bowl.
The Super Bowl shuffle. Yes.
Yes, they beat the Rams, the Los Angeles Rams, 24-0 in the NFC Championship game.
There you go. Bears had
and the Patriots advanced to the Super Bowls, beating the Wakefield's Miami Dolphins 31-14.
That was
the AFC Championship.
That's right. Yeah, that was the pre-Brady Patriot years when they played the Bears. They got thrashed too. That game was a horrible game. That the Bears just destroyed them. That was Steve Grogan, I want to say. Big Dan can check me on that, but I'm pretty sure the quarterback was Steve Grogan for the Patriots back then. So yeah, that's crazy. Crazy.
And in 1981, Rapture by Blondie was released. And in 1988, Together Forever by Rick Astley came out. We won't rickroll anybody because then those wonderful, awful people at YouTube will hit us with a thing, and we don't want that.
Yeah, we
because
can't.
they are awful people. We don't like YouTube, even though we're on their platform. And in 1989, The Look by Roxette, God bless her soul.
Yeah, she is.
She passed away. That debuted.
There you go. So, some great stuff. Some great songs there.
That's what I got.
Rick Astley, I laugh all the time now because there's a dude on WWE that does interviews that looks almost just like him, and I laugh every time he comes on because I'm like, he's gonna go up to to whoever he's interviewing and be like, never gonna give. But yeah, that's awesome. 46-10, Steve Grogan. There you go. I remember.
That's right, Dave.
I remembered.
Give us back Betty and Bob and take Brandon.
Hey, Dave. All right. So we're going into our next segment. We are going to play a couple of our bands that were kind enough to send us some music along to play on this part of the show. So we have two synthwave artists tonight.
What's it called, Joe? Mixtape Minute.
I'm gonna remember it. I was just gonna get it because I
only know because I wrote it down.
It's all good. I'm gonna have to start writing shit down too. How bad is that? So we're gonna do a song from a band called Diamond Field, and we're gonna do another song by a band called Star Madman. So they're kind enough to send us some stuff along. Give it a listen. Again, we're gonna do 2 songs on this every week, and just give you a little piece of the song. You can go look these guys up. They're on Spotify. They're on Apple Music. They're on Google Play. Any place you can find the music, go check them out. If you're on Twitter, you can look them up there too. Tell them, say, hey, we were listening to your song on the I Live the 80s show. We thought it was awesome.
And disclaimer to the commies on YouTube, they gave us permission to use their music.
Yes, we can use these. Damn it.
Yes.
We were told. They gave us permission. So yeah, go check them out. These artists are really awesome. I love this music. Ed and I both mentioned that last week. So go ahead and check them out. One more thing on the music section of it. Scott, our friend, Elevate the Sky, he is getting close to being done with the video. The video that Ed and I are in. So he's getting close to being done with it. Once he does, he will come on the show. We will play the video for you, and you will see our shining faces in a music video. So make sure that you're here in the next few weeks. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted as to when Scott's going to come on. Also, we had on last week, my gosh, again. Oh, Kal-El Jagger. So Kal-El wants to be on our show. So we're going to have her on at some point too. She said she'll bring on, she has a whole bunch of, she's a big DC fan, as you can imagine, with the name Kal-El. So she said she'll come on, she'll show us some of her collections, stuff like that, and we'll talk 80s. So she will be on at some point as well, coming up soon too. All right, Ed, let's go. Let's roll the music. We've got Diamond Field up first. right, there you go. That was Diamond Field with a song called New Situation. That's featuring Nina Luna. So as the vocalist on there, and great stuff, man. I love this music. There's so many different versions of it. There's darker synthwave. There's pop synth. That's a song that I could definitely see.
It was very upbeat.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely could hear you. You just go back and you can hear that playing on a radio station from the '80s, or playing it in your car or something along those lines. So, great stuff. All right, and we've got one more, which is going to be. This is Star Madman. So Star Madman is
Star Madman in Manhattan. It said, right?
And Manhattan. Yes. Yep.
Okay.
That's next.
Let's go. It's buffering.
So that song is called Away, and that is Star Madman. I love her voice. Her voice reminds me a little of Cyndi Lauper, which is what I thought when I was first listening to it. So the vocals are great. I love the keyboards. And again, the songs are so different because some of the bands will use just a keyboard. Some of them will use the electronic drums. Some of them use guitar, saxophone, and all that kind of stuff. So again, check them out. They were nice enough to send the stuff along. Again, you can find them. I found them on Apple Music. Of course, I have my Apple Music subscription. You can find them all there. If not,
Spotify probably.
Spotify has them for sure. You can go to Google Play Music to check them out. And again, say hi to them on Twitter and say, hey, we listened to your music and it was great stuff. But yeah, thank you to both.
Tell me some on our podcast. They'll be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. And they mentioned us. I know Star Madman mentioned us in their Instagram today that we were going to share it. So again, thank you to them for sending it. They certainly don't have to do that. And really, really appreciate them sending along their work, them and Diamond Field. So thank you to both of them. And we have more of that coming up. We got a few more artists that have sent us other things, 4 or 5 more. It seems like I get a few almost weekly. So we'll have more of that coming up. Google Play as well, Rich. Yeah, definitely. Google Play.
Wakefield said Google Play.
Google
Play.
You may not want to say that, Rich. He's a little incapacitated.
Google Play. You know what we did when we Google played, but you know what? We're now Google playing for a while. The doctor said I could not Google Play. I can't even reach it. I can't do anything with it. I have this goddamn cone on my neck. And any ladies watching, if you want to come help me, I'll give the address at the end of the show.
No,
you won't, Google. You will not give my address at the end of the show. Bad, Google. Bad.
That's what got you in all this mess in the first place.
I'm sorry. It's on the medication. I'm not thinking straight. I'm on all this different medication. I have to put the cream on in the morning. I have to put the cream on the afternoon. I have to take a blue pill. I have to take a green pill. Like, Joe. It almost makes me think of the errors of my ways. But you know what? I can tell you something, Joe.
What's that?
Once I'm done, I'm having fun.
He's never going to learn?
Google it. Oh, it hurts. Google it out.
He's never going to learn? He's never going to learn.
No.
He is who he is. He is who he is.
We're gonna be doing a funeral episode because
right.
He lives by the penis, he dies by the penis. You know what I mean?
Oh man! All right, let's get into this week's topic, shall we? And again, we're just gonna we had a lot of people over this past year. Oh my gosh! And far be it for me to mention too, Ed, Bob Saget.
Oh my God! How heartbreaking that is!
Oh my God! Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I happened to be going through Twitter and I saw that someone posted on Twitter. I think it was TMZ that said that Bob Saget passed away. I was shocked, and you know a person's a good person when the celebrities come out and they're just tweeting saying, oh my God, I don't believe it. I can't believe we lost. He's gone, and he was such a good guy. And the majority of the people that said stuff was all that kind of thing. A lot of people, that was their example of the perfect family dad in that show, of course, in Full House. He was a comedian as well. He was doing stand-up comedy. In fact, the night before he passed, he did a stand-up show and he sent out a tweet to thank everybody for coming out and said he really had a great time. And that was it. It was that quick. The next day, somebody must have tried to get a hold of him in the hotel. I'm assuming because I don't know.
Did they say what the cause of death was?
They said all they said was no foul play, which probably means he died from. It could have been natural cause. It could have been a heart attack. It could have been almost anything. But yeah, man, crazy. So we did lose a lot of people from the 80s and in that decade and stuff like that. So Ed has compiled a list. We're just going to go down. We're just going to talk about them a little bit. You guys can share some memories and stuff about some of them as well, and we'll go through them one by one. So Ed, let's get into that.
All right.
All right.
Ready, dude.
I am all set. So I think the first one's on the list, and we mentioned her on the last show. So, of course, Betty White. Betty White, of course, 99 years old. Famous, of course, for the Golden Girls, and, of course, Mama's Family as well. So we talked about her last week and said, unfortunate she didn't make it to that 100th.
It's a shame.
Yeah,
it really is, man.
Yeah, they were going to celebrate her 100th birthday and have a big special and stuff for her. And I'm sure they probably still will do it. But of course, yeah, it's just a shame she couldn't make it through to that thing. But Betty was really, really funny on Golden Girls. She was probably more than others the comic relief on that show because she kind of played she was always kind of the one who was not she was a little bit stupid sometimes, but she was really, really, really funny. So
my girl B. My girl B, when she bust her ass, that was great. I love those.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
It was great.
Gina said he died in his sleep. Yeah, it probably was something like that where, again, I'm sure they'll know. Somebody probably will order an autopsy, maybe if the family wants to. I don't know if they want to find out why, but
Dan says he was Generation X's TV dad. But you know what the funny thing was is his stand-up was so dirty.
He was raunchy.
Yeah,
he was.
And I mean, like, I can't say the comments like what he said in like Half Baked and all, but I mean, like, he really was like dirty and stuff.
Yeah, he was.
Like, he was like the complete opposite of like his Full House character.
Yeah. He was a good friend of Howard Stern's too. So he was on his show quite a bit, and he would do a lot of that kind of stuff with Howard. They'd go back and forth. So I knew about it from there. But yeah, completely. Yeah, he was really, really raunchy comedy. But everybody said he was a good guy. So there you go.
Yeah, I love him.
Yeah. All right, next up, Ned Beatty I'll remember this guy from Superman. He was Lex Luthor's sidekick on Superman. He kind of played comic relief as well in that show. They'd always have that funny song that they would play in the background, the boom, boom, boom. Whenever he'd come on, he'd always do like silly stuff.
Didn't he wear the stupid hat too?
Yeah, he wore like a hat, and Luthor would always be making fun of him and stuff like that. So he was kind of he was the what's that called? He was the lackey. He was the lackey for Lex Luthor, basically. He was in The Toy, and he was also in Back to School. So again, the Toy with Richard Pryor is a fantastic movie.
It's a classic.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Ned Beatty, gone as well. Otis, yes, yes. And anybody who knows the Superman movies would, of course, know and remember who he was for sure. Speaking of Superman, I'm going to jump ahead one, Ed. Let's just
Yeah, I
go
figured
right
it was
to
a good segue.
yeah. Let's just go right to Richard Donner, the guy who did. I mean,
Ah,
so many movies. Of course, famous for Superman. You'll never
Goonies.
believe that a man can fly was the tagline. The Goonies, Lethal Weapon. This guy was responsible for a lot of big popular movies in the 80s.
Lethal Weapon.
Yeah, the Lethal Weapon series. Yeah, absolutely. You always saw his name up on the screen at the end, Richard Donner. But
They
yeah,
called him Dick.
did they really?
Yeah, they called no, seriously, they called him Dick. Like that
Okay.
was, but like I mean, we all knew him like that, Richard Donner. But like
Yeah.
they'd always refer to him as Dick.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
like but like I'm not going anywhere with it. Like, there's no funny joke or
It's
nothing.
just
But that's just what they called him.
Oh, there you
You
go.
know what I mean? Like Dick.
There
It
you
was
go.
funny.
Dick Donner. Well,
He did get molested. We're going back to what's his name, Beatty. But yeah, he did get
oh,
molested.
Beatty.
In
Yeah,
Deliverance.
Beatty was in Deliverance too. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Oh,
right. You're
I try
absolutely
and
right.
block that movie out.
Yeah, that's hard to watch,
Oof.
even today. But yeah, Richard Donner.
Somebody's got to do it. Somebody has to do it.
I'll never forget Superman and going to see it when I was a kid. So fantastic movies
One of the first
made.
superhero movies that, like, you know what I mean? Like,
It really was. Other than like Batman and the 1960s Batman and Robin
and the 70s Spider-Man.
That was even after Superman, I think. But yes, that was awful. That was awful. Even Stan Lee hated it.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, we did. We got good, of course, the Hulk too.
I used to look forward to that because you know what I loved with the Spider-Man was they would show it on the holidays. And I remember being small and that was the one thing I would look forward to was like the whole like Memorial Day or 4th of July. Like they would always put it on like, I don't even remember channel, but like, I remember like I'd be home and I would just flip through the channels and it would always be on something. And when I was small, I always look forward to finding it, and it would always be on something. And there, I just loved Spider-Man. Like,
I
it sucked, man. And I would never watch. Like, I hated the parts when he was Peter Parker. Like, it just always sucked because it was so boring as a kid. You know what I mean? It was just dumb.
He actually played a decent Peter Parker.
Yeah, but as a kid, he didn't. You're bored as shit because you see him walking around with that wavy hair and those bell-bottom pants and that you know what I mean? It's good. It had that dumb camera hanging off his neck, and you're like, who gives a shit? You know what I mean? It's dumb. As a kid, you don't care about that. You want to see Spider-Man with the stupid things on it, and then you see him, crawling up the thing, even though he's like, walking on a floor, and they turn the camera sideways. But it's still cool because it's Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Like
I have those all on a DVD collection, I believe. I bought them from some place that bootlegged them because I remember seeing them all. And I mean, Stan Lee even hated that. When he came out, Stan Lee came out and said he couldn't stand it because he said there was nothing in that had references to his comic books. And he said even the funny things that Spider-Man would do, like the quips and the jokes, he said there was none of that. Said it was as serious could be, and he said he couldn't stand it. And like the special effects are really bad.
The only thing good about it was the theme song, which I played.
Oh my god, the porn music! Yes.
I hate you, YouTube. I hate you people at YouTube. You'll hit us with a copyright thing. I would play it though, but
I have that on my Apple. I have that in my.
I had that as my ringtone. That's my ringtone somewhere, but I love that song. That is the best theme song ever.
It's got saxophone in the background. It's
like that funky porn theme. You know what I mean?
It really is.
It is awesome. It is one of the best theme songs ever.
But like you were saying, I mean, when you were a kid, it used to come on. For me, I would see it it used to come on after school, and they would play it on the after school thing at 4:00 on ABC when they would show the after school stuff. They would play it then, and I'd watch it on. And of course, I thought it was amazing back then because I mean I was eight or 9 or years old or so. So I mean it was awesome to me. But all right, moving on. Let's go to our next person here, and I believe we have. I think it's Screech, is it not?
It is Mr. Dustin Diamond, which was a shocker. I mean,
It was. Yeah, it was.
I don't know
44.
if he have like a drug problem, or I don't know if there was anything wrong with him.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I didn't really hear how he died, but he died awfully young. So I don't know. I don't know if he had a health issue or something along those lines. But yeah, that's awfully young to pass away, 44 years old. So gone much too soon. And of course, Saved by the Bell. I was never as a kid really into that. I never really watched that a lot. Every now and then I turn it on, but I don't know. It's something just didn't grab me about the show. But I knew a lot of people who did. Cancer. Oh boy, yeah, that's horrible.
Oh,
Yeah, that would make sense, I guess.
such a horrible disease that.
Yeah, it takes lives way too early. So, but yeah, I never got into it. I never watched it much, and I don't know. But again, a lot of my friends I knew.
I know
that
he
did.
went crazy and he wanted to fight people. He did like that celebrity boxing or whatever.
Oh, did he really?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But so we lost Screech, and of course, big character, of course, in the '80s. So
yeah.
All right, moving on. We lost we lost a member of a very big '80s rock band, and that's Dusty Hill from ZZ Top. Passed away at the age of 72, and who could forget? Anytime you put on MTV in the '80s, you heard "Give Me All Your Lovin'," you heard "Sharp Dressed Man," just. They were iconic in the '80s, and it's funny they were a southern rock band. They were around for a while. They were around since the early '70s, and these guys with these really long beards, and then the drummer had the nice curly hair and the shades, and he was kind of the cool looking one of the three. And then who could forget the women? And apparently they were their girlfriends / wives that people came to find out that were those women in the car, and the car. Oh, who didn't want the car?
Doors and everything?
Yep. Who did not want that car? The red with the ZZ stripes going down the sides, and oh my God, everybody! And I knew a guy growing up that actually had one, and he had it painted up the same way and stuff like that. It was amazing. And then the ZZ Top keychain that you'd see them give to people and stuff in the videos. ZZ Top was huge, absolutely huge in the '80s.
So to go back on something, Gina wants to know: wasn't Dustin Diamond addicted to porn? That's what she asked.
I honestly don't know.
To porn? Does anybody know?
I honestly don't know. Screech predicted Zuckerberg, Gates, and Bezos in the video yearbook episode of Saved by the Bell. They started in '68. Rock and Wrestling says, "Oh, ZZ Top." Yeah, no, I knew they were around for early '70s. I didn't know exactly when they started, but yeah,
who knows?
I believe that. All right, moving on. We lost Shock G. Digital Underground. Shock G.
Stop what you're doing, because I'm about to ruin the image in the rhyme that you're used to. The Humpty Dance, which Tupac was a part of.
Yeah, I remember the Humpty
Digital Underground.
Do the Humpty Dance. He used to wear the big. He used to wear the big hats.
Yes. Big nose.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah. 57. So again, it wasn't that old either. So
Joe wasn't into that. He was more into having the mullet and the.
I was more into the metal.
Yeah, yes. He wasn't into the rap end of it.
I was into the hair metal.
You weren't an OG.
I did.
you weren't into your fancy MTV raps.
Hey, listen, I listened to my Grandmaster Flash and Run DMC when the whole thing started, but no, I wasn't. I didn't. I was onto the hair metal at that time.
You ain't down. You ain't bad. You ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. Yeah,
we did that in sync. That was pretty good. Anyway, we also lost the legendary broadcaster, Larry.
This was sad. He was
87 years old. You weren't someone until you went on Larry King's show. that kind of validated whether you were a celebrity, whether you were a political figure, a musician, whatever. You were not validated until you were on Larry King. Once you're on there, then all of a sudden you hit the big time. It could be said. A lot of people would say that about Johnny Carson. I got the Johnny Carson show or the David Letterman show. But once Larry King asked you to come on and interview you, you pretty much knew you'd made it. And he had done some really, really famous interviews throughout his career. The thing about him, and I watched his show, not regularly, but I would watch it. And the thing about him is he never got too high, never got too low. Always kind of had that that same temperament when he would talk to people. Some would say very serious and things like that, but that was what he was. It was a classic journalist, and you don't see a lot of them today, and you won't, because the profession's changed so much. But yeah, Larry King, absolutely huge.
And remember, it's not garlic, it's garlic. You remember he would say that all the time? That's what I remember.
Yeah. He had that gravelly voice. Yeah, absolutely.
And didn't he have a very attractive wife? Didn't he always date the young women?
Yeah, probably. That's a
and Big Dan says, look at this, Joe.
A huge Dodgers fan. Yeah, I can remember that. Yeah, I remember that because I can remember him being at Dodgers games. Yeah, yeah, I do remember that. All right, next up, we've got Yaphet Kotto, of course, in The Running Man. I remember him most from Midnight Run. I do remember him in The Running Man because he was in that big suit. Was he the Frozen guy?
He was, yeah.
The freeze guy, wasn't he, in The Running Man? Yeah. But I remember him most from Midnight. I
remember from The Running Man and Alien.
I love Midnight Run with De Niro. Oh my God, what a movie! What a movie that is. A classic buddy movie, basically, with two guys who can't stand one another, actually. But yeah, he was the police officer that they were always getting away. He was always getting away from. But yeah, and of course, like Ed said, in Alien as well. Yeah, he's been in some big things.
And then also the blank person died. Do you see that blank person right there? Blank man?
Oh, the blank man.
I don't know where the hell that came up. That's called a glitch in the Matrix right there.
The Matrix glitched out. Next up is Art LaFleur, 78. He was in Field of Dreams. A lot of baseball movies. The Sandlot, the A-Team, and Hill Street Blues. I remember him. Hill Street Blues.
The A-Team.
I remember him from Hill Street Blues. He's got one of those faces where you've seen him before. Some of these people that acted in several things, you recognize them, but you don't exactly maybe remember their names or who they were. But I remember him from Hill Street Blues. Hill Street Blues is one of my favorite shows ever.
They said he had that face that just even if you didn't know who he was, you just knew him. You know what I mean? He was just that guy that you knew.
Yeah.
I remember him from the A-Team. He was just that bad guy. You know what I mean?
Yep. Next up, well, this one's near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
Tommy Lasorda, the Dodgers longtime manager. I was a big Dodger fan. My aunt got me into the Dodgers when I was pretty young, probably 79-ish, maybe 79, 80. Was always, back then, was Dodgers Yankees. They always had, and then of course I kind of got more into it around the time of Fernando Mania, so Fernando Valenzuela, and then the World Series that the Dodgers won against the Oakland A's. Orel Hershiser, of course, beating the Bash brothers, McGuire and Canseco, and Tommy was right there. And I love some of the antics that he would do. Always got into fights with the Philly Fanatic. In fact, I saw one of those live. I was at a game that Fernando pitched in Philadelphia with the Dodgers. They lost. Mike Schmidt hit a home run and beat them. But I remember seeing Tommy having that fight with the Fanatic at before the game, was punching the Fanatic in the nose. Tommy always seemed like a great guy. Of course I never knew him, but always seemed like a great guy. He was always kind of funny. The players I know loved him. Everybody that talks about him has nothing but good things to say about him. So, sad to see Tommy Lasorda gone, 94 years old. But yeah. You
know what? He had one of my most favorite games on Sega Genesis. I love Tommy Lasorda baseball.
The baseball game, yeah.
I absolutely love that game.
Yeah. I kind of
Awesome
almost
game.
forgot about that.
Awesome game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome game.
I hate the Dodgers, but love Tommy. Next up, Cloris Leachman,
Cloris
94.
Leachman.
From The Facts of Life and Young Frankenstein. How good a movie is
Took over for Mrs. Garrett.
She did. I remember that.
Just a bad replacement for Mrs. Garrett.
She was, yeah. Well, it's kind of hard to replace an icon like Mrs. Garrett on that show. But I remember her from Young Frankenstein. Frankenstein, what a great movie.
Yes.
But how she was what was she, 90 something too? Did I see?
Yes, she was
94 years old.
A lot of them were 94.
Yeah, 94, 93. Next up, Jackie Mason. Jackie Mason, the comedian.
You're getting ahead of me, Joe. You're going too fast.
Oh, no.
I can't keep up, Joe.
There it is. Jackie Mason, 93 years old. Of course, he was in Caddyshack 2. He kind of took the place of Rodney because, of course, they couldn't. Rodney Dangerfield, I think, had other commitments. They wanted him to come back, but he couldn't come back for Caddyshack 2, I think. And then so they got him. Jackie was a popular comedian in the 80s. A lot of Jewish humor. Because of course I believe Jackie was Jewish. At least if he wasn't, he did a lot of humor.
No.
Lasorda was the main ring announcer for WrestleMania 2. I remember that. Yep. Phyllis Lindstrom on Mary Tyler Moore. That was.
Let's do some comments because I have to upload some.
Yeah, no problem.
Quick, so.
Art Metrono says. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Now one that's near and dear to my heart, since you're crappy Dodgers, now my crappy Raiders. Your Dodgers are actually good. My Raiders suck. They're going to lose in the first round of the playoffs. We all know they are.
So is my team, so I don't want to hear about it.
Your Dallas Cowboys are going to lose. My Raiders are going to lose, even though I wish the Raiders would win because he died. John Madden. Broke my heart.
Yeah, man.
Raiders.
Madden.
One of the greatest play-by-play guys. He was phenomenal. He had the pen, and you would see the pen. Oh, the pen going around.
Boom. Yep. Him and Pat Summerall. Listen, if you watch football in the 80s,
and you know
90s,
the best thing is he beat the Eagles. Best thing about him. Yes.
Madden and Summerall were terrific together. And they did the big games. And in fact, for me, and the fact that the Cowboys are playing the 49ers this week, which was a huge rivalry in the 80s with the two of them, they were always on the big game of the week. So, people are going to miss him even more. And the people who talked about him say that he was a great guy, was a funny guy, hated to fly, would not fly. He had the Madden bus, the Madden Cruiser, which he would take from game to game. So he was constantly on the road. Imagine if he's in LA one week and then he has to go to Philadelphia the next. He's getting on that bus and he's going cross country. But they said, whenever he was around, he would stop. He would talk to fans, laughing, joking, that kind of thing. And I could see that. He seemed like he was really a guy who loved his job, loved football. And his family was able to light the torch during the Raiders game last week. So that was kind of cool.
Beautiful.
And a lot of
Dan, that's a very dark day, the day that Bo Jackson injured his hip when they played Cincinnati. That's a very dark day.
And of course, Madden football. I mean, how many kids got introduced probably to a football game because of John Madden? Madden football has been going since in the arcades. I can remember playing in the arcade with a stick that you'd pull back to throw the football. Before they even had NFL licensing, they could just put colors. They weren't able to say team names. So that's insane. And people have been playing Madden football for years and years and years.
They actually have the Bo Jacksons, the original Bo Jacksons on eBay. I was this close last weekend. I was with my friends. We were watching the playoffs. We were drinking at his house. And I was this close on eBay to order the original Bo Jacksons, but they didn't have my size. Oh, the orange and the blue, the Nikes. Oh, my God. I want them so bad.
Bummer.
I know. Oh, my God. All right.
Next up was Peter Scolari. So many people know him as the other half of Bosom Buddies, because of course they had him and Tom Hanks. It's funny because my wife and I were talking about Bosom Buddies. She actually said it was almost like he was almost the funnier of the two. And if you go back and watch it, he kind of was. Tom Hanks, of course, just getting so popular after that. But yeah, I mean, he was also on Newhart. When you go back and watch the Newhart show, the newer series that Newhart did. Newhart was on so many different shows. He had his own show in the '60s and then in the '70s, but the Newhart show I'm talking about was the one that came on in the '80s when they all lived in that same house and stuff like that. But yeah, Peter Scolari, he's done a lot of comedy roles, and he kind of seemed like he always did that sidekick type role. He was never really the guy who was the star of the show, kind of always the side person, but he played that role well. And again, I read some stuff about him, and a lot of people say he was a very nice person, and I could see it. I could totally see it. One of my favorite '80s shows, Bosom Buddies, was in love with Sonny, but who wasn't? Yes, that's true, Rich. Google.
Joe!
Yes.
He actually won an Emmy.
Ah, okay.
For
what do you win for?
Outstanding guest actor in a comedy series.
Oh, which one?
I don't know. I didn't get that far because I'm hopped up on medication.
Ah, okay. Well, that.
And guess what? His name is Peter. Peter! Kind of like my Peter that has all kinds of bumps on it. Google is feeling a little frisky now. Too bad I have all these red pussy bumps on it.
Oh, man.
Oh, I know it hurts so bad, Joe. And I have this goddamn cone on myself. I can't even, do anything about it.
No, you're stuck there.
I know. I can't even lick myself.
No.
Google it out.
Oh, gosh. Was it Honey, I Shrunk the Kids TV show? Okay.
I don't know. Who the hell knows?
Tom Hanks never forgot Peter Scolari, even after he got famous. That's something I'll always respect. And Peter was fantastic on Newhart. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So another one that really hurt was Dean Stockwell.
Yeah, Dean Stockwell. Of course, Quantum Leap. Later on for me, and again, Quantum Leap. Was a show I never watched much either. I watched a few episodes.
Oh my God, Quantum Leap was awesome. You never?
Yeah, not to say that it wasn't. God. I just never, for some reason, I never watched it. I got to know him really well in Battlestar Galactica because he was on the Battlestar Galactica remake. He was one of the Cylons. Got in toward the middle of the middle of
spoilers.
No, please. There's a limit on spoilers. If you haven't watched by now, it doesn't count. But yeah, Dean Stockwell, of course, for the people who watch Quantum Leap, huge loss. How old was he? I lost it. Where the hell did it go?
He was old.
85.
All right.
85. But yeah. No, I don't know why I never watched Quantum Leap. You would think that
it was awesome.
Yeah,
it was a good show. You can watch it. It's on something somewhere.
Yeah, sure.
Streaming.
I think it's on Pluto, actually.
Is it?
I think about it. Yeah, I think
I'm sure they're going to reboot it eventually.
Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt it. They reboot everything. Oh, by the way, speaking of, and I was thinking of a thing with Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks was actually in an episode of Taxi. The only reason why I'm saying this is because there's a channel that I watch now at night called Decades, and Taxi's on every night. And I watched an episode of Taxi, and he was in the thing where Reverend Jim first became Reverend Jim. He was all this straightaway dude, and then he ate pot brownies, and that's when he turned into Reverend Jim. And Tom Hanks was in that episode, and he was a complete nut. He was stoned off his mind. And it was really funny. I'm like, oh my God, it's Tom Hanks. Really big hair. Yeah, I didn't really even notice it was him until a little while after I started watching it. But Rock and Wrestling says, I love the Leap. Oh yeah, I know a lot of people that do. And awesome. Lastly, we've got Clarence Williams III. He was in Purple Rain. What a great movie. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker.
That was an awesome movie.
Mod Squad.
And then, you know what, I have to give him credit to Half Baked in the 90s. It was an awesome movie.
Oh, yeah.
It was awesome.
I remember him from Mod Squad. I watched Mod Squad when I was a young kid, so I remember that.
And we were talking about before the show, who I completely forgot about was Captain Steubing.
Oh
He
man.
passed away too, and I completely forgot to add him to the list. So
Yeah.
and you know, being the big Love Boat, especially in the '80s, Captain Stubing passed away.
That's yeah. I mean,
Which
another.
I have him in my background here. Over there. See, there he is.
I see
right
him.
there.
I see the captain's hat. Yep, there
Captain,
you go.
yep.
He was
God rest his soul.
on. He was on King of Queens a little bit later on. He was.
I think he's on the Mary Tyler Moore show too.
He was. Yeah, yeah. He was King of Queens. He was. Oh my gosh! He was his uncle, I believe, or something like that. But yeah, yeah. He was in a lot of. Mary Tyler Moore was a big one for him too. But yeah, man, the captain of the Love Boat. And
Samson.
for as big as the Love Boat was, he was on every episode. And if you watch some of the older episodes of the Love Boat, he's a little bit more of he's a little more suave and debonair. As it went on, he kind of got more serious and a little bit more stern. But at the beginning, you know, he was kind of macking on some women there too that were on the ship. So yeah.
Anything went on the Love Boat.
Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. We lost a lot of people, and I'm sure the Academy Awards that are coming up will probably have us, similar. A lot of them will be mentioned during their. They always have that in
if they have it, because
no, they are. Well, yeah, that's true too. Who knows? They are supposed to have a host this year, which they weren't having a host the last couple, which is weird. But yeah,
we're past the 10 o'clock hour.
We are past the 10 o'clock hour. Well, you know what that means? That means, speaking of Captain Stubing, it's the Captain's Choice segment of our show for the night.
You remember that one, though, don't you, Joe?
I remember that one. Well, of course I do. But Captain's Choice segment tonight, I'm going to read a lyric. You guys can guess it, see if you know what it is. Let us know in the chat, and whoever guesses it first, well, you get nothing, but you get kudos from us because we're not big enough to afford anything. So yeah, you'll get some kudos before we leave. All right, so here you go. Here is tonight's Captain's Choice, and here is the lyric. Pictures of you, oh, they're still on my mind. You had this smile that could light up the world. Now it rains. It seems the sun never shines. And I drive down this lonely, lonely road. I've got this feeling. Girl, I gotta let you go.
Lonely, lonely road.
Who sang it? Who did it? Did anyone know? Let me see if we got it. We buried all.
Lonely, lonely road, and I got this feeling.
Ed's gonna give it away. I'll read it one more time.
Oh! Oh, isn't it? I know it.
Pictures of you, they're still on my mind.
I know exactly.
You had the smile.
Slaughter. Flight of the Angels.
That's it.
I actually got one for a change.
Ed got one. It's called "Fly to the Angels" from Slaughter. Yeah, I thought it'd be appropriate.
I used to love Slaughter back in the day.
Mark Slaughter is an awesome singer. He was in Vinnie Vincent. He was in the Vinnie Vincent Invasion. He was their singer for a little bit. He sang a song called "Love Kills," which was for Nightmare on Elm Street movie. Nightmare on Elm Street 3, I believe it was on that soundtrack.
I knew that one.
He had a fantastic voice. Yeah. No, good call, dude. Ed got one.
Wow.
He got one.
I was paying attention for a change. Holy crap.
The band Slaughter, yes, a staple of saw them live a few years ago. That's right. They still are touring. I saw them. They were my first concert actually that I saw in my early 20s. They were with Kiss and Circus of Power. Wow. When Kiss was doing no makeup, was the Sphinx tour. So Hot in the Shade, the Hot in the Shade tour, where they had the big Sphinx up on stage.
Chris hates Slaughter. I'd love to hear that story.
Oh, I love Slaughter. Slaughter's awesome. I think they're great. Like I said, I love his vocals. He has an awesome vocal range. So saw him a few years ago. We buried all the "You Haven't Won a Natty Since 1980" jokes. Joe, don't forget Peacemaker tomorrow, first 3 episodes. Yeah, with John Cena. Lick It Up.
Is that tomorrow?
Yeah, that starts tomorrow.
Oh man, I got so many damn shows I gotta watch. Oh my god.
Eternals starts tomorrow as well on Disney Plus.
Oh.
So yeah, there's a lot of
Dude,
stuff.
seriously, like, if those of you are watching, like, there is a great app. It's called TV Time. And if you have iOS or if you have, I think it's on Google Play, but it's called TV Time, and you could go on there and you could track all your shows, and you could put like once you watch an
Oh, there you
episode.
go.
And like, I still have to watch the latest Book of Boba Fett just dropped.
Yeah, I have to watch that. I'm gonna watch that tonight after I get off of here.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. The Expanse, the latest season of The Expanse just dropped. I'm watching The Righteous Gemstones. That's an awesome show. I don't know if you guys like that. Now we have damn what do you call?
Oh, Eternal started today. Oh, good lord. Ed.
Oh,
There's
whoa. I didn't do that. Sorry. Folks.
There's a secret celebrity in Boba Fett today.
So, oh my god, really? Eternal started today?
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was
tomorrow. Oh my god. We have that. We have Peacemaker tomorrow. Oh my god, there's so many shows. Yeah, I just finished Witcher. I just finished what do you call Cobra Kai. Ugh, I can't get caught up on this.
Too much to watch.
If anybody watched what was that one? If you like The Office and Superstore, there's another good one called American Auto. That's a funny one.
Nice.
Oh, there's a lot of good shows.
Yeah, there's stuff that's on
right now. There's like so much stuff on. It's Always Sunny.
Ugh. My superhero show started coming back on this. So Superman and Lois started season 2 last night, which I really like. I think he does a great job as Superman.
We should do a podcast on just good. We should do one on shows.
Just on good TV shows.
Yeah. Oh my god, we could do one on that.
We could. Yeah, we could. Well, anyway, thank you guys for spending an hour and 11 minutes with us. We really appreciate it. Hope you had a good time tonight. Don't forget to go check out some of that music that we played. Check out the synthwave stuff. It's really, really good, especially if you like this kind of, and you must because you come out and check the podcast out. So check them out. Also, don't forget, Scott will be on. And we're going to debut the video that Ed and I are in. So that ought to be really cool. I'm anxious to see what that is like. It's a great song, and it's from his next upcoming album. And then we have Kal-El will be on as well with us. So that'll be in an upcoming show also. So hope you enjoyed the show tonight, guys. Hope you have a great rest of your night and a great rest of your week. And next week, well, me and Ed may be buried under snow when we come and talk to you next.
But we'll be here.
But we'll be here.
Hopefully, love you guys. God
willing, we don't lose our power or anything like that. But God willing, we will be here next week. Yes. So thanks for coming out, guys. Great seeing you all. Hope you have a great week, and we will talk to you all soon. Good night, everybody.
Sorry, I'm getting it going, dude.
It's all good.
I'm still learning this new system here.
I'll do the Ferris Bueller. Why are you still here?
Why are you still here? Just go home, everybody.